Hello, my name is Kelly Murphy and I'm here today to demonstrate a few coloring techniques using Kenra color products. I have with me today my client Nikki. After a thorough consultation with Nikki, we have decided to add some dimension to her all over natural level 4 hair color. I will be using Kenra No Ammonia Lightener and Kenra 5NB and 7NB Permanent to give her an all over beautiful natural dimensional hair color. Let's get started. So I've gone ahead and mixed up our color. Today I have mixed Kenra No Ammonia Lightener in a 1:2 ratio with 20 volume, and then half an ounce of 5NB, half an ounce of 7NB, and 1 ounce of 20 volume developer in this bowl. And then I've gone ahead and I've sectioned off Nikki. I've sectioned off her mohawk section and 2 side sections, and then a section in the back. In the back section we will be freehand highlighting or balayaging with Kenra No Ammonia Lightener. In the 2 side sections in the mohawk section, I'm going to be alternating highlighting foils and the permanent color foils. For the highlighting foils, I'm going to be using the No Ammonia Lightener. I'm going to be doing a fine weave. And then for the permanent color, I'm going to be using a fine slice, but I'm going to make it a skip slice to make it a nice blended color and give her that awesome dimension that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and get started with the back section. I also forgot to mention that I already did give Nikki a haircut. She had very dry, uneven ends, so we went ahead and cut off a few inches to give her a nice, healthy haircut. Fresh, clean slate for this awesome color, and it'll make her hair look a lot fuller and healthier. Alright, so I've already taken a section off the back. I'm going to go ahead and take my fine-tooth weaving comb, and I'm going to take a section. I have made these sections kind of in a V shape. If you take them straight across, it will tend to make them look really blunt, and we want this look to be very blended. So I am going to take a thin slice of this section. I'm going to back comb a little bit. We want to make sure this is really blended and there's no harsh lines. Nothing needs to be harsh. I'm going to go ahead and grab my balayage board, place the hair on the board. I'm going to grab some of the No Ammonia Lightener, and I'm going to start from the outside, and we're just going to make this into a V shape. Making sure you really feather out the top, keeping it nice and blended, making it look nice and natural. We don't want any harsh lines. And then making sure I saturate the ends really well. And also feathering out that line. And then we drop that section. I'm going to grab another section from this side. A nice section that you can kind of see through, but it's not too thick, it's not too thin. Again, I'm going to back comb at the top just to keep it blended. Grab my balayage board, my No Ammonia Lightener, again making that V shape. This is really going to make it look like sun-kissed highlights. It's going to blend really nicely. Saturating the ends. Feathering that top section, feathering the bottom of the V as well, still making sure everything's nice and blended. And drop that section. And I'm going to grab a piece of cotton. I'm going to stick that on this bottom section. Okay, so I've already started. I've done a few sections in the back with a freehand highlighting or balayaging. So I'm taking 1-inch sections and I'm shaping them kind of into a V. We want to keep things nice and blended. We don't want any harsh lines. I'm sectioning everything with cotton strips. We want to keep everything blended. We don't want any bleeding with the No Ammonia Lightener. So I'm taking a nice thin slice. I'm back combing at the root. I'm going to grab my balayage board. We're going to make V sections using the No Ammonia Lightener. Lots of feathering, keep things nice and blended. Saturating those ends nicely, coming up probably about 3 or 4 inches, and feathering. Feathering towards the top, keeping things nice and blended. and then drop that section. Taking a piece of cotton to separate our sections. Going to our final slice. A nice thin slice. That coming at the root again. Grabbing our balayage board, making another V section. Again, keeping those ends nice and saturated. We're open saturating too, not using any foils. We don't want it to be too light. We want it to look really natural. Feathering at the top again, top of the V, in the middle of the V, and dropping our section. All right, now moving on to the side section. First, I am going to start with the no ammonia lightener, so the highlight. Taking about a 1/2 inch section. I'm gonna take a nice thin slice. Going to weave this really fine to make it look really natural. Grabbing our foil, placing it underneath the root, grabbing some of our no ammonia lightener, placing it about 1 inch from the scalp, saturating this hair really nicely, dragging it down to the ends, keeping it nice and consistent, and then feathering at the root so we don't have that harsh line, making it look really natural. Folding that foil up. Then we will move on to our 5NB and 7NB mixture. For that, I'm going to take another thin slice. We're going to make this a skip slice, so we're going to take out a tiny piece somewhere in the slice. Grabbing a foil. And grabbing our Kenra permanent color. About 1 inch away from the scalp. Nicely saturating the hair, feathering up to the root, again avoiding harsh lines. Hold that foil up. So we've got all the color applied. We are going to let her process under no heat for a few minutes. We're gonna wash and style her and we'll be back with the final result. So this is our final result on Nikki. Lots of dimension, her color turned out awesome. She's a happy client. For the final style, before I blow dry her, I use the Kenra Revive oil. This adds moisture, adds strength, adds shine, super healthy for your hair. Then I add some blow dry spray. This reduces blow dry time by up to 50% and adds a thermal protection for the heat that we used. To finish off her style, I use the dry texture spray. Has an amazing scent and keeps the curls from clumping together, adds lots of texture, volume, it's super great. And then I finished it all off with the Kenra 25 for a nice hold. All day style, keeps her curls from falling and smells awesome. She's a happy client, and thanks for watching.